So in this video, we're going to see Representative Jasmine Crockett absolutely take down the Republicans and the GOP for pushing dangerous public health agenda on the American people. As usual, let's watch the video in full and I'll give you my thoughts towards the end.
Are we tired of winning yet? We are hugely winning. We have the best of the best, right? Wrong. That was sarcasm if you didn't catch it. The fact is, we should never have partisan politics playing a role when we're talking about something such as science. But unfortunately, in today's times, Democrats believe in scientists and experts and data, and Republicans instead believe in conspiracy theorists. And right now, that is who we have leading one of the most important agencies in this country. Is a conspiracy theorist, not someone who has an actual resume to get the job done. So why would anyone trust the Republicans on anything, let alone matters of public health and safety? It has taken Texas' largest measles outbreak in 30 years, with more than 500 confirmed cases and the death of 2 children, for the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services to say what we already knew. The most effective way to prevent the spread of measles is the MMR vaccine. This is the same guy who chaired the anti-vax nonprofit Children's Health Defense. Just last month, during an interview with Fox News, he suggested that somehow being infected with measles could provide protection against cancer and heart disease. The Republicans are implementing the most dangerous public health agenda in modern American history, and people are literally dying as a result. This administration doesn't believe in science. They're firing thousands of scientists and public health officials who keep our food and medicine safe, slashing funding for scientific agencies that help cities and states respond to public health emergencies, limiting public access to research and data that contradicts their misinformation. They're using financial threats to manipulate which studies the government will sponsor and blocking researchers from diversifying clinical trials. This reckless and chaotic approach will make it more difficult for the FDA to achieve its mission of protecting the public health of Americans. But there are 2 issues that I want to address before my time expires. Staffing at FDA has long been a challenge. The Government Accountability Office has identified several challenges at FDA as high-risk issues. One of the bigger issues the GAO has identified is FDA's extensive workload. Last Congress, the Senate held a hearing on the sale of unauthorized and illegal vaping products and e-cigarettes. During the hearing, Dr. Brian King, director of FDA's Center for Tobacco Products, testified that the volume of pre-market tobacco product applications is overwhelming. So FDA is instead prioritizing its enforcement responsibilities when it comes to e-cigarettes products. But just last week, Trump not only fired the director of FDA's Tobacco Center, he closed 2 entire offices responsible for drafting new tobacco regulations and setting policies. Dr. Kessler, in its 2025 high-risk report, GAO stated that, quote, stable senior FDA and center leadership remains of vital importance to the agency. How will this vacuum of leadership impact the public health and safety of Americans?
It will put Americans at risk. But you, Congresswoman, you raised a very, very important point. I'm the only pediatrician on this panel today, right? And your constituents, please, the most important thing is what you said. If you want to prevent measles, please have your children vaccinated against that very dangerous disease.
Thank you so much for that, Doc. And I only got 56 seconds, and I don't know if I'm going to go through my last question because I'm looking at Greg to see if he's going to make me do it. Listen, I'm going to go off instead. Sorry. I appreciate the fact that you are an expert in this, and here's the reality. The Republicans, and definitely MAGA, loves to troll me in so many ways. And the reality is that I trust and believe experts. I don't believe that I know everything. I believe that I was elected by my constituents to make sure that I could keep them safe in all ways, making sure that they are not going to be victimized if they have, say, family members that are serving abroad because of Signalgate, because of that incompetence, making sure that they have access to vaccines if they need it, making sure that they can actually provide for their family because we have real economists that are
the gentlelady's
deciding
time is
whether or
expired.
not we are
Gentlelady's
engaging in
time.
a tariff.
So, as we all know, MTG is always going to do her best to try and shut down Jasmine Crockett. Why? Because Jasmine Crockett is always bringing the facts and bringing common sense when it comes to, you know, America and politics, and especially when it comes to this administration. Look, everything that Jasmine Crockett has spoke about in regards to the Trump's administration's agenda when it comes to public health, it should be something as a cause for concern. You know, the very fact that RFK Jr. is someone that's been put in a position of power when it comes to public health in America, that in of itself is a massive concern. Why? Because we know that this individual is a conspiracy theorist. We know he's a conspiracy theorist when it comes to this sort of stuff. This administration, when it comes to public health, have done things like they've freezed funding. They've literally cut funding to some of the biggest agencies that are out there. Agencies like the CDC, you know, cutting funding to critical programs such as cancer research, housing assistance, and suicide hotlines. This is what it is that these guys have done. You know, we already know the big thing that a lot of people are worried about at the moment is their massive cuts to Medicaid, you know, and preventative care. These are things that they shouldn't even be touching because a lot of Americans, a lot of MAGA depend on these services and depend on these things. And they know this. They know this, but they just choose to be ignorant to it. They choose to be ignorant to it, all because of the fact that why? What they want to do is they want to cut funding to these other things so that they can then give a tax cut to the richest and the wealthiest individuals. And that is the reason why we consistently say MAGA doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And the reason why it doesn't make sense is plain and simply because of the fact that the majority of MAGA, this is going to hurt and affect them. It's going to hurt and affect those individuals who are MAGA who voted for Donald Trump. So this is the reason why it just doesn't make sense. As always, we love to see on this channel Representative Jasmine Crockett standing up for the American people and standing up to these bullies in the GOP and the Republican Party. As usual, guys, give me your thoughts in the comment section below this video. I'm always encouraged when I see your guys' opinions. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up and also make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys and I'll see you guys in the next one.